All right, I wanted to tap in with a lot of legal stuff going on in the hip hop world. This is another thing. There has never been the overlap of hip hop and the criminal justice system as it is today. There is not a time where a rapper is not under indictment. There's not a time where a rapper is either not on trial or about to go to trial or just beat a case. This, you know, I know Spider's old enough to remember the days that, every once in a while a guy caught a case.
Yeah.
A guy may have gotten arrested. He might be going to jail. But today it's like at least 10 rappers are facing some sort of felony indictments, RICOs.
Like, who are you speaking of? Like, who are you thinking of in general? Like,
right now, I was going to talk about. I was going to, or I should also say either rappers as the defendants or cases where rappers are the victims. You know, because right now I was going to just talk about Young Dolph.
Rest in peace.
Young Dolph, rest in peace. The two guys that have been charged for his murder are set to go to trial later this year in September. They were scheduled to be going to trial in June right now. The trial is supposed to be happening right now. But let me read a quick little excerpt here on Young Dolph. And Young Dolph's alleged killers have been given a new trial date almost 3 years after the rapper's death. The trial of Justin Johnson and Cornelia Smith for the murder of Dolph was originally set to begin in March. Then it was delayed till June, currently right now, but now it's been postponed to September 23rd. The continued delay of trial is due to both the prosecution and the defense requesting a continuance, which would allow them time to prepare witnesses for court. Shelby County Judge Jennifer Mitchell granted the motion, but was not overly pleased. As we all know, this case was set for trial for today. And this is an article dated June 5th, just a couple days ago. I was extremely upset when the lawyers came to me asking me for a motion to continue, the judge said. I was really anxious to get this case over and done with starting this week, but they both expressed to the court the desire to get experts in, so I allowed the continuance to occur. Experts, we've talked about that before, and people probably don't realize how important it is for both sides, defense and prosecution, is to have their experts lined up, and the judge has to grant this. If a prosecutor or defense attorney says, hey, I'm not ready, I still got to get some experts, the judge has no choice but to say, okay, what do you need, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days? So what do y'all think?
About which part? 'Cause you said a lot.
Hey,
but I know about like rappers ending up in that position. I think, or people that's successful, like, period, actors, rappers, or whatever. I think when they reach that, I don't think they realize they road change. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean?
Like for example, and I could be off too though. I just felt that and I look at it a different way. I just felt like with Eric Holder, I think that should have been somebody else's role to address him if he wasn't just about anything snitching. You know what I mean? And in the politicking days, like you know what I'm saying? You let the you know what I'm saying? Let them niggas politic that shit.
No, I'm a little lost on what you're trying to say. Are you following him, Spider?
Yeah, he's saying.
Go ahead.
We're speaking about rappers in general finding themselves in these positions more so than ever. And he's saying he thinks it's an epidemic of it because when niggas get on, they realize they fail to realize you got different status. You should be focusing on different shit. And he's saying Nipsey should not have brought up that conversation.
Got it. But here's another thing, and you said this once before, Spider. I think the reason why we're seeing so many rappers getting caught up in cases is because the artists today are more connected and embedded into the streets than the artists from 20 years ago. Now, the artists 20 years ago had a relationship with the streets, but may not have been active with it. Someone like LL Cool J grew up in the hood, but wasn't active, but knew all the dudes in the hood. Now the dudes that's active are on the mic.
Even deeper, the godfather of gangster rap outside of Easy, Dr. Dre, totally unstreet, but did a whole lot to usher in that whole genre of street gangsterism. The studio gangster was kind of like, that term was created to describe him and others like him.
So back to your point, Nipsey should have understood his role now as a national/international MC and had relegated duties to other people.
Right. Like once you reach a certain level, you know what I'm saying, your role changed. That like I wouldn't expect a homie that made it to the NFL to still be trying to politic at hood meetings and shit. You know what I'm saying? Or like, but like
that sounds crazy.
Like that go for athletes, actors, any entertainer. You can reach that, man. Yo, role and change. You know what I'm saying?
Now, Spider, when you had your success in the 2000s, and you were now Spider Loke the rapper, you're not Baby Spider from East Coast. Did you kind of separate yourself and say, you know, I'm focusing on this music right now, and I'm leaving all that street stuff behind me?
Not enough at all. I was too close, too involved, and I was right there on the set. So just my personality, it bled over into the current event. So if I was around, damn, my influence or whatever my status was, I didn't know how to separate myself the way I should have. No, not at all.
And you're willing to admit that some of that had an impact on your career?
I would assume so, definitely. And not just my own personal decisions and activities, but people in my circle that were close to me, things that they did, I think it affected my career too at times.
Because we've also talked about stuff off camera. I don't know how deep you want to go, but I had a case one day, and I'm reading over the case. I got an attorney that's asking me to read over discovery on a murder, and I'm flipping through the discovery, and I'm reading about G-Unit, I'm reading about Spider Loke, I'm reading about, you know, all these names are popping in, not as like guilty parties, but as involved parties in this case. And I'm sure that 50 Cent, I'm sure that G-Unit got wind of stuff like this. I'm saying, hey, your name is popping up in things that doesn't necessarily reflect good on our brand. Yes or no?
Definitely agreed. Definitely agree. And although I was never, ever directly approached about these issues by 50 or Chris Lighty, I can only assume that they were approached to some degree by the authorities when I think about the magnitude of the situations, how much their company came up. I would bet $1 million against one every time that somebody approached them with some type of inquiries as to their involvement with these cases.
And also because there's multiple spiders from your section, sometimes people get confused. The police might get confused. You know, they're throwing in these names, big spider, little spider, baby spider, but we're not sure which spider did this.
Yes.
So sometimes they might be talking about a different spider and blaming you for something.
Indeed. And if you just do your research on the whole legacy of spiders, 1, 2, and 3, you could just go 1 and 2. There's nothing good to find. If you like a law enforcement or a lawyer and you go check their backgrounds, you know you bumped into them guys. So that don't fare too well either.